Good morning, everyone. Okay, today we'll start with exchange of gases. So this is the last topic of this chapter. So yesterday we have discussed uh, about the lungs, right? Inside the rib cage there is the lungs, and I told that uh, the most important organ for respiration, that is the lungs. Okay, so here diagram also you can see here, and also there is written here alveoli. So alveoli, it is the this topic is about exchange of gas. Okay, so where does exchange of gas take place? So exchange of gas, it takes place in the alveoli, that is in the lungs. Okay, alveoli that is present in the lungs. So now what is alveoli? So alveoli, they are tiny air sacs, okay, inside the lungs. Air sacs means the spaces filled with air. Okay, tiny air sacs that are present inside the lungs. Okay, I will show you uh, diagrams. I'll search on it and I'll show you. Also, if you search in the internet alveoli, alveolus, bronchus, and all those, then you can see the exact diagram how it is. But I will just show you after I complete this portion. So this alveoli, it is the primary site of gas exchange. Okay, it is the place where those oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange takes place. Okay, so so those exchange, it generally takes place by simple diffusion. So now what is simple diffusion? Do you know what is simple diffusion? Simple diffusion, it is actually a type of passive transport. Okay, it is not an active transport, it is a passive transport. And in simple diffusion, what happens? The solute, the solute, that is, you can say the carbon dioxide or the oxygen, those serve as a solute now. So those solute, they they move through a membrane that is known as the diffusion membrane. Okay, two sides. One, there is a diffusion membrane, and they pass through the diffusion membrane. That is known as the simple diffusion. Okay, so uh, this they are exchanged by this gas exchange takes place in the alveoli of the lungs, and they are exchanged by simple diffusion. Just remember that. Now let's talk about the diffusion membrane. That simple diffusion, it takes place, and there needs to be a membrane through which simple diffusion will take place. Now, what is that membrane? So here you can see this is a diagram of an alveolus. Okay, alveolus. Alveoli is the plural term. Alveolus is the singular term. Okay, one, when there is one, it is known as alveolus, and when there are many, it is known as alveoli. So in the human lungs, there are like millions of alveoli. Okay, not one. There are millions of alveoli. So this is here. Just let us take the example of a single one, that is one alveolus. Okay, that is, this is a singular term for alveoli. So this is an alveoli. Okay. So outer membrane. This so the diffusion membrane, here you can see it's made up of three layers. Okay, three layers. One layer is this one. That is the squamous epithelium of alveoli. This one, the outer layer of alveoli. That is the squamous epithelium of alveoli. This is the alveoli. Internal. This is the alveoli, and this is the layer that is known as the squamous epithelium of alveoli. This also serves as the diffusion membrane. Okay, this is a part of the diffusion membrane. Then there is this layer, this one, this one. If you see here, this layer. So this layer serves as the layer of alveolar capillaries. This is the capillary. Okay, this is the alveolar capillary. Here are the blood cells. Capillaries means the sort of tubes where blood passes from. Okay, blood uh, like flows through this capillaries. So this is the structure of a capillary. This is the red blood cells passing through the capillary. Okay. Then the layer of the this side, this layer of the alveolar capillary, this is known as the endothelium of alveolar capillaries. Okay, this layer, this one, this one. And the third layer is, the three layers are there, right? So third layer is the basement membrane between them, this white portion, this white portion, that is known as the basement membrane. Between them is between this one and between this one, between squamous epithelium and between alveolar endothelium. Okay, so these are the three layers of the diffusion membrane. So now simple diffusion will have to take place between this. So the oxygen or the carbon dioxide needs to pass through these layers. That is, one is endothelium of alveolar capillaries, then squamous epithelium, and this middle one is the basement membrane. So simple diffusion, it needs to take place between these what to say, these diffusion membrane. Okay, so now let's talk about what actually happens. Okay, first thing, that is, when we inhale, yesterday discussed, like when we inhale, when we take in oxygen, so or you can say when inspiration takes place, air or the oxygen, it enters through this side. Okay, enters to all the alveoli, it will enter like this only, and we are just looking at one. So it will enter from this side. Okay, it will enter the alveolus from this side. So now what will happen, there will be how many type of blood cells are there, how many type of blood cells are there, can you tell me how many types of blood cells are there? You are the only class which doesn't respond. I don't know what you people do. Maybe you just keep your phone engaged and you give your roll numbers and just walk away, or you do something else because you don't respond. What are the three types of blood cells? What are the type of blood cells? Hmm? Are you asleep, all of you? Look, if this is going to like um, be like this, if this is the way it is going to be, no, I will not take your class. And I'll mark everyone absent like the day once one day I did. I marked everyone absent. So I will not take your class and I'll mark everyone absent if this is going to be the way it is today always. Okay, you people don't respond and this is not the way. I'll just prepare this all these slides and just talk to the laptop for like 45 minutes and you people don't respond. I don't know whether you're listening or you're just keeping your phone and you leave this place. At least the CR should respond.
Yes, ma'am.
So make the habit of responding, everyone, not only to the CR, everyone. Make the habit of responding, even if though it is wrong, even though it is whatever, just at least I don't know, yes, no, something, just respond. If this is going to prevail, I will not take your class. I'll not take your class and I'll mark everyone absent and you'll fail in your exams. Because without my giving notes and without my helping you guys, you won't pass. This is not like so easy, and it is not like that. It's not so easy. If you have listened to the lectures, like previous lectures, you will know that it is not like without understanding, without doing anything, you will not pass. And I have seen, like I have worked in EDTU for like 2 years, more than 2 years. So I have seen two, like 4 semesters. So I have seen people, out of 100, if there are 100 people, 90 of you fail, then only 10 passes. Again they go for backlogs, again they will fail, like 3 times they will fail, and again they will come back from first time. So just try to be serious. This will not work with me. It might have, it might work for some other faculties, but it will not work for me. If you want to attend my class, you need to respond. So there are three types of blood cells: red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Why are the red blood cells red? Because of the presence of hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is the what to say? Hemoglobin is the pigment that is present in the red blood cells, and the oxygen that is carried through the blood, that is carried all around the body. The oxygen that we take, that we inhale, that oxygen should be supplied to all around the body. That oxygen is supplied through the help of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the molecule which carries oxygen. The oxygen binds to the hemoglobin and it is carried all around the body. Okay, so the red blood cells are the ones which carries oxygen. So, uh, so what happens? This is a blood capillary through which blood flows. Okay, so the inhaled oxygen goes through here. Okay, then the oxygen they diffuse through this membrane and they mix with the red blood cells. Okay, they are absorbed by the red blood cells. Okay, the oxygen they diffuse through this membrane and they are absorbed by the red blood cells, and then they are carried all around the body. But when the blood comes, before before taking in oxygen, from before the simple diffusion takes place, when the blood it comes, what happens? uh, the blood it carries all the deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood means what? The blood which lacks oxygen or rich in carbon dioxide. The blood which does not have or lacks oxygen, and it is rich in carbon dioxide, that blood is known as the deoxygenated blood. And what is oxygenated blood? Oxygenated blood is the blood which is rich in oxygen, and it is known as pure blood. Deoxygenated blood is also known as impure blood. Okay, it might be asked, what is deoxygenated blood? What deoxygenated blood is, pure blood or impure blood, or like that. So you have to write, like, deoxygenated blood is known as impure blood. It is not pure blood, it is impure blood, and it lacks oxygen, but it is rich in, or it carries carbon dioxide. Whereas oxygenated blood, it is rich in oxygen. It lacks carbon dioxide, but it is rich in oxygen. So what happens when the blood comes? Means all around the body, it will flow, and it will take the impure blood, and it will come. Okay, so it will take the impure blood and it will come. So when this blood will come, this is the deoxygenated blood. Okay, that is the carbon dioxide rich blood. So when it will come, so when it reaches the alveoli, what happens? The carbon dioxide from the deoxygenated blood, they will diffuse inside the alveoli. Okay, the carbon dioxide from the deoxygenated blood, they will diffuse into the alveoli. This one arrow mark you have seen. So this carbon dioxide, they will diffuse inside, and the oxygen that is present inside the alveoli, that we got from the inhaled air, so that oxygen will diffuse out into the blood. So as a result, what will happen? The deoxygenated blood will now become oxygenated blood or oxygen rich blood. Okay, and then it will again flow through these capillaries, and it will be supplied all through the body. It will be like it it will be sent to all the parts of the body. So
Hello, ma'am.
yes,
Ma'am, এবাৰ অসমীয়াত কৈ দিব।
okay. So কি হয় okay, before that, so what will happen, this carbon dioxide which diffuses from these capillaries into the alveoli, those carbon dioxide will be exhaled when means it will like it will move out from the alveoli. Okay, and then again oxygen will come in, they will diffuse into these capillaries, the carbon dioxide from the capillaries will come inside and again they will go out. This process will go on and on and on. Okay, okay. For those who uh, have problem understanding English, so কি হয় প্ৰথমতে অক্সিজেনটো যেতিয়া আমি ইনহেল কৰোঁ, যেতিয়া আমি উশাহ লওঁ, চ' অক্সিজেনটো তেতিয়া তোমাৰ এইটো দিছ ইজ দ্য ষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ ফৰ এলভিঅলাই ষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ হয় এইটো, ঠিক আছে, এইটো এলভিঅলাই। ত' অক্সিজেনটো তোমাৰ এইফালৰ পৰা এলভিঅলাইত এণ্ট্ৰি হয়। অ'কে, চ' নাও এইটো হ'ল ব্লাড কেপিলাৰী, ঠিক আছে। ব্লাড কেপিলাৰীত তোমাৰ ব্লাড ফ্ল' হয় আৰু ব্লাড cells 3 types থাকে, red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. And red blood cells color to red কিয় হয়, white blood cells to white হয়, তো white মানে colorless হয়। So why is the red blood cells red? Red blood cells are red because তাতে hemoglobin থাকে। Okay, hemoglobin থাকে, and hemoglobin is the molecule which carries oxygen, মানে hemoglobinে oxygen carry কৰে, ঠিক আছে, hemoglobinে oxygen carry কৰে। So যেতিয়া তোমাৰ এই কেপিলাৰীৰ ফালেদি ব্লাড ফ্ল' হয়, তো ডিঅক্সিজেনেটেড ব্লাড মানে যোনবিলাক ব্লাডত অক্সিজেন নাথাকে আৰু কাৰ্বন ডাই অক্সাইড ৰিচ থাকে, মানে কাৰ্বন ডাই অক্সাইড হাই থাকে, আৰু যোনবিলাক ব্লাডত অক্সিজেন নাথাকে, তো সেইবিলাক ব্লাডক কোৱা হয় ডিঅক্সিজেনেটেড ব্লাড। অ'কে, চ' সেই ডিঅক্সিজেনেটেড ব্লাডটো তোমাৰ কেপিলাৰী থ্ৰু দি পাছ হয়। অ'কে, চ' ৱেন ইট passes the carbon dioxide rich blood আছে, ডিঅক্সিজেনেটেড ব্লাড মানে কাৰ্বন ডাই অক্সাইড ৰিচ ব্লাড। চ' তেতিয়া সেই কাৰ্বন ডাই অক্সাইডটো ব্লাডৰ পৰা ডিফিউজ হ'ব, এইটো হ'ল ডিফিউজন মেমব্ৰেইন। চ' দিছ ইজ দ্য থিন স্কুৱামাছ এপিথেলিয়াম, দিছ ইজ দ্য এণ্ডোথেলিয়াম অফ এলভিঅলাৰ কেপিলাৰিজ, ইট ইজ ৰিটেন হিয়াৰ, এণ্ড বিটুইন ইজ দ্য বেছমেণ্ট মেমব্ৰেইন। ত' এই ডিফিউজন মেমব্ৰেইনৰ পৰা তোমাৰ কাৰ্বন ডাই অক্সাইডটো এই ব্লাডৰ পৰা ডিফিউজ হ'ব ইনচাইড দ্য এলভিঅলাইটোলে ডিফিউজ হ'ব। অ'কে, এণ্ড দ্য অক্সিজেনটো যোনটো তোমাৰ আমি ইনহেল কৰিছিলোঁ, নে আমি উশাহ লওঁতে যোনটো ভিতৰলৈ লৈছিলোঁ, সেই অক্সিজেনটো এলভিঅলাৰ ভিতৰৰ পৰা ব্লাডলৈ ডিফিউজ হ'ব। অ'কে, ইট উইল বি ভাইচ ভাৰ্চা, অপজিটটো হ'ব, কাৰ্বন ডাই অক্সাইডটো ভিতৰত আহিব, অক্সিজেনটো বাহিৰত যাব। বাহিৰত মানে ব্লাড কেপিলাৰিজলৈ অক্সিজেনটো যাব, আৰু ব্লাড কেপিলাৰিজৰ পৰা এলভিঅলাইলৈ কাৰ্বন ডাই অক্সাইডটো আহিব, ঠিক আছে। তো তাৰপিছত যেতিয়া অক্সিজেনটো ইয়াতে ব্লাডত গ'ল আৰু ব্লাডৰ পৰা কাৰ্বন ডাই অক্সাইডটো এলভিঅলাইত গ'ল, তেতিয়া ডিঅক্সিজেনেটেড ব্লাড উইল বিকাম অক্সিজেনেটেড ব্লাড, ৰাইট, কাৰণ এতিয়া সেই ব্লাডখিনিত অক্সিজেন ৰিচ আছে। তাৰপিছত যেতিয়া সেইটো হৈ গ'ল, তাৰপিছত ব্লাডটো এইফালেদি পাছ হ'ব অক্সিজেনেটেড ব্লাড, এণ্ড তোমাৰ ডিফাৰেণ্ট পাৰ্টছ অফ দ্য বডি থ্ৰু veins and nerves, all this, so বেলেগ বেলেগ গাৰ মানে বডিৰ বেলেগ বেলেগ পাৰ্টত ইহঁতক ট্ৰান্সপৰ্ট কৰিব, ঠিক আছে। চ' দিছ ইজ what happens. Okay, one more thing, here it is given like solubility of carbon dioxide is 20 to 25 times higher than that of oxygen. So it means that carbon dioxide will diffuse fast, okay, than that of oxygen. Carbon dioxide will diffuse faster. So this carbon dioxide, it will diffuse faster, means it will come inside the alveoli, it will in a little faster pace than that of this oxygen which goes outside. Okay, so this is all about exchange of gas. Okay, the oxygen it comes inside, then it fills the alveoli, then what happens, the oxygen it diffuses inside the blood that flows through these capillaries, and the carbon dioxide from this blood, they will diffuse inside the alveoli. So now the deoxygenated blood will become pure blood, and it will be transported all over the body. and the carbon dioxide that is present inside the alveoli will be exhaled out. Okay, this is simple. This is not as hard as the mechanism of breathing. That was a little bit complex, but this exchange of gas, it is very easy. Okay, there are actually some more stuff included, like partial pressure of oxygen and all those, how it is exchanged, everything is there. But since it is diploma, you don't need that much. Okay, so this is all about exchange of gas. I will show you the structure of alveoli and all those. This is the structure of alveoli, but means this is like a magnified image, right? And this is a diagram, and it is a magnified diagram. But I will show you how it is actually present. All those numerous ones, how it is actually present inside the lungs. I will just show you. Before that, so this is what this is the disorders of respiratory system. So disorders means disease. Okay, disorders and disease, it is the same. So here we will look at two diseases that are related to respiratory system. Okay, two diseases that are associated with respiratory system, means respiratory disorders, means that I have told, like for in respiratory respiration, the disorders, respiration, most important organ is the lungs. Okay, so disorders of respiratory system has got something to do with lungs. Okay, you can assume it, because since the most important organ that is associated with respiratory system is the lungs, so the okay, so the diseases that are occurring to the respiratory system, that has something to do with the lungs. Okay, so these are the two diseases. One is asthma, one is emphysema. Asthma, all of you have heard, I guess. Not it is sure all of you have heard. Maybe some relatives in your family, or like your neighbors or something, or like some people obviously have known some people who has asthma. Okay, so asthma is almost, it's a very common disease to be found, and the symptoms of asthma are coughing. Okay, coughing, and the bronchi and bronchioles, they inflame. So what is now bronchi and bronchioles? That bronchi, I'll just show you the diagram. Okay, so this is the alveolus, right? So there will be the bronchi here and bronchioles, and they will form the alveoli. When you see the diagram, then it will be clear. Let me just give a pause here for like a little bit. I'll show you the diagram, then you'll know what is the bronchi and the bronchioles. Okay, but inflammation means swelling. Okay, so the bronchi and the bronchioles, they become big. Okay, swelling, all of you know, like when you get hurt, it swells. Inflammation occurs, it becomes red, and it swells up. So that is known as inflammation. So what happens? Asthma is caused by the inflammation of bronchi and bronchioles. Okay, so these bronchi and bronchioles, they swell up, and this causes asthma. And the symptoms of asthma are coughing and difficulty in breathing and all that. Okay, cough and difficulty in breathing. Wheezing means sneezing and coughing, like that, same thing. So this is asthma. It is caused and bronchi and bronchioles, it is a part of the lungs. Okay, so inflammation occurs in the lungs. So this asthma, all of you know, like people of asthma, they used to take some pumps. If you have seen, like in the movies also, you might have seen, if not in real life. So they use pumps. So that pump helps to what to say, lower this inflammation, so that they can breathe. When they find it difficult to breathe, they take the pump, and the pump that relieves this inflammation for like some hours, like 1 or 2 hours, so that they can breathe. It is not a lifetime solution, but it helps them to like for some time. Okay. So next is emphysema. This is not quite common, and you might not have heard of this disease. That is emphysema. It is a chronic disorder. Chronic means, what is chronic? Chronic means it is a long time and it prevails. Okay, it does not go away. It is a long time disease, and it is severe disease, and it does not go away. Okay, so this emphysema, it is a chronic disease, chronic disorder. And in emphysema, what happens? The alveolar walls are damaged. Alveolar walls means these, this one, this walls. So these alveolar walls, they will be damaged. Okay, and okay, this is also like in difficulty in breathing is there, then breath becomes short, and all those are there. Also, the lung tissue and lung tissue, all those are also like destroyed. Okay, the major cause of emphysema, it is cigarette smoking. Okay, when you smoke cigarette, the major cause of emphysema. For asthma, it is not cigarette smoking. Okay, cigarette smoking does not like help for asthmatic patients, but the major cause of asthma is not cigarette smoking. It is due to some allergy. Allergies are there. There is some allergens and some like dust and all those. So asthma is caused by all those. But for emphysema, main cause is cigarette smoking. When you smoke excessive cigarette, you have the chance of developing emphysema. Okay, so there is a misconception about asthma. Okay, people, I have also heard people saying like this. You just give your roll numbers, okay, in the chat box, everyone. Give your roll numbers in the chat box. Okay, I have heard people saying that you must stay away from asthmatic patients.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, can you please explain number two?
emphysema. Yes, I'll get to that.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, I'll get to that. But before, like asthma, I have heard people saying that asthma is like you have to stay away from asthmatic patients. You don't share the same food, same utensils, and you like tend to you don't drink from the same bottle. You don't drink eat from the same plate. So all those I have heard. Okay, but that is a complete misconception. Okay, that is not true. Who is talking? Just mute yourself when you need to speak. You can unmute and speak. So this asthma, it is not some uh, some disease which can transmit from like one person to another. Okay, because this disease is not caused by some virus or some bacteria. Okay, generally diseases caused by viruses and bacteria, they transmit. For example, one is common cold is there. Okay, common cold is caused by rhinovirus. Okay, remember, common cold is caused by rhinovirus, and that is why it transmits from one person to another. Like when you like when your sister gets cold, when you are living in the same house, and you happen to have cold, so that is due to the virus. It spreads from one person to another. But asthma, it is not like that. It is not caused by some virus or something like that. It is caused by allergies. Allergens are there, pollens are there. All those particles causes asthma, and the asthma, it is a disease of the lungs. So this does not transmit. Okay, so when people say like it transmits, don't share food and all those from asthmatic patients, that is totally for hygienic purposes. You can choose not to share food, but uh, that is completely not true. Okay, it will not transmit. Yes, it is hereditary sometimes. Like if your grandparents or if your father happens to have like asthma, so there is a possibility that you might have it too, but it is not compulsory, but there is a possibility you might have it too. So it is somewhat hereditary, but it does not transmit from one person to another. Okay, so that is all about asthma. So bronchitis and bronchioles, I'll show you the diagram. So emphysema is a chronic disorder. Here, chronic disorder means it is a serious illness and it is long term. It does not go away. Okay, and in emphysema, what happens? Alveolar walls, the walls of the alveoli. So alveolar walls and the lungs, they get destroyed. Lung tissues of the lungs and the alveoli, they get destroyed. Okay, they are those walls and those lung tissue, they get destroyed, and uh, the symptoms of emphysema are the breath becomes short. Short breath means like if you breathe for like in for 1 minute, if in 1 minute you breathe like you inhale and exhale like for example 30 times. So when you suffer from emphysema, it will be far more than 30 times. Okay, it will be more. So shortness in breath, and like you will have difficulty in breathing, you can say, and breathe will become short. So that is the symptoms. Okay, and emphysema is caused by cigarette smoking. Most important main cause of emphysema, it is cigarette smoking. But for asthma, it is not cigarette smoking. It is some external factors. Okay, but for emphysema, it is cigarette smoking. So excessive smoking of cigarette, it may lead to emphysema. Okay, lung disease, emphysema. So emphysema, it is a lung disease, and this or both are lung disease. Okay, so emphysema, it is also a lung disease, and it is generally caused by the alveolar walls damage and the lung tissue damage. Okay, but asthma, it is caused by inflammation of bronchi and bronchioles. It is not some the walls does not damage or something like that, but it is just the inflammation, means it swells and it reddens and it swells. That is the cause. Sorry, that is the yes, that is the cause. But for emphysema, it is the walls of alveoli, they get damaged, and the lung tissue, they also get destroyed or damaged. Okay, is it clear now? Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can ask, but I will show you the structure of bronchi and bronchioles now. Okay, but yes, if you have doubts, you can ask. Please give your roll numbers, everyone. Attendance in the chat box. You have not given it. I'm not getting a proper diagram, but still. Okay. So this one, this is the bronchi. Okay, you can just imagine a tree. You can just imagine a tree. So this is known as the bronchi. This portion is the bronchi, and this is the bronchioles. These are the bronchioles. Okay, so it is a tree trunk, and these are the branches. Okay, and the leaves. So these are the alveoli. Alveoli. Okay, the small. There are like many are there. You can see. See, many are there. So these are the tiny air sacs known as bronchioles, and these alveoli, and these are the bronchioles, and this is the bronchi. Okay, so this is the diagram. This is the lung. The big one is the lung. This is the diaphragm that we talked about yesterday. This is the diaphragm, dome shaped diaphragm. These are the ribs. These are the ribs, and these are the lungs. And inside the lungs is the bronchi and bronchioles. This is the bronchi, and these are the bronchioles and the leaves-like portion. So it will be like this in everyone. It is not drawn, but it will be like this in everyone. So these are the alveoli. Okay, so this is the diagram. Okay, I just showed you for your understanding. Okay, any doubts you can ask. Why are people not giving the attendance? Yes?
Dishu, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Okay, if you don't have any doubts, you can leave. If you have doubts, you just ask. And your roll numbers are from 80 to 137. Today 137. Okay, 136 or 137. So why do you people not attend class?